welcome to 1407 Great Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Today we're doing a comic review of New Mutants number 16, and I'm really starting to dig the art. I had a lot of things to say. First of all, they're doing more. We're seeing Howard Williams and Aya, the writers, they're collaborating a lot more, which is nice because we see an Excalibur cameo, which is, I like it. I like stuff like that. It shows that they live fairly close to each other. It would make sense that they would crossover. Yeah. Okay. All right, getting into it. A couple of mutants sneak into Otherworld using the gate, and they think they're having a good time, but they run into the worst person possible, Jamie Braddock. He is getting to be, I don't know that much about him. He's either going to be a very great reoccurring villain, or he's going to be a very irresponsible relative. He's like that relative who lets their 6-year-old niece have a beer. Stuff like that. Okay, we later on we go into our data page that I really enjoy these data pages. It give you a little bit more insight into the character, or give you some context of what's going on. And it's Warpap's data journal. This is my favorite part. He, when asked if he's an optimist or a pessimist, he says, being pessimistic leaves you vulnerable to danger, internal and external. Being pessimistic cuts you off from all possibilities. Neither is useful. Better to be a realist. Take things as they come and make plans based on what you have observed. Yeah, I like that. It's like you cannot be an optimist, because optimism's, it's great. I love it. Moving on. We going back into this issue, and after watching WandaVision, I'm not so sure Shadow King is a villain. I don't know what it really looks like he's trying to help some kids. They're trying something out. He's not hurting them, and he's actually showing concern. But having said that, he's a very scary person, and I'm really surprised that nobody has thoughts to but to tell Xavier that this is going on, because I'm pretty sure Charles would have something to say. And I think New Mutants could use a cameo from the Professor. I mean, come on. Who doesn't want to see the Professor? All right, so also, I don't really like Scout. Scout is a clone who is there just because of who her DNA donor is. And she's saying all these things like, oh, how come Madeline Pryor isn't here? Because she's a clone? Well, I'm a clone. That really annoyed me. It's not just her, the elders. They're not taking, no one's taken her aside and just told her exactly what happened and kind of set her straight. It's really annoying, but that's my pet peeve. We see Danny, Ileana, and Doug all have a conversation later, and we see a few of the kids got black eyes and just bandages all over. It's just funny. Hey, sometimes you gotta slap some kids around. it's funny how comic books are really advocating slapping your kids. Not your kids, but other people's kids. Moving on.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
We should do a blooper.
Yeah, right? We should totally. That's totally worse. It's like, you're advocating beating children. Not beating children.
Not yours,
but like, you know, those who deserve it.
Not your kids, other people's kids.
Maybe your kids. I don't know. Let's be like, if your kids are out of line, let's take them down.
Oh, that is hilarious.
Take them down. If they're out of line, we put them in line.
Oh my god.
Okay, going back, we cut to another scene with Karma and Mirage, Danny Moonstar, and she finally talks about what happened to her when the Shadow King had taken over her body years ago, back when they were New Mutants. This is like about over 30 years of continuity. She's referencing continuity that happened a long time ago. And she's saying, like, I'm not going to let this... like, she's volunteering to find these kids who got lost in the other world. It really shows that they're getting over their stuff. They're not being victims. And Karma has been defined so much by her pain, to see her move past her issues, because she's an adult and she's like, she wants to prove herself, but also she's not going to let her pain define her. I like that. Good for Karma. Gold star. So this is when Danny and Sam start their odd couple in the... See, it sounded better, the odd couple in Wonderland, but like, I wish they were a bit more combative, just a little bit more combative, because it would be really fun to see two best friends who are clearly arguing go after kids. I find that's hilarious to me. We see more X Factor. Now we see another one, crossover. It's with X Factor. We see iBoy and Prodigy. They run into Rain, Wolfsbane, and she's asking him, like, hey, what's the status on my son? Her son, Tyr, who she had, okay, damn you, Peter David. Tyr's father is an Asgardian wolf prince who Rain had hooked up with, and she gave birth to. It was a very fast pregnancy. It only lasted like 3 months, and then the kid was eventually killed. I mean, it grew up and it was eventually it became like a young adult, but then he was killed. And so with Krakoa, everybody's coming back, but Rain hasn't seen her son. Which is really funny considering Rain has a teenage son and she's like 28. Well, that does happen sometimes, but geez, life happens. So Rain is she's kind of like losing her mind a little bit, because this kind of comes out of nowhere, and I want to see where it goes. Yes, she's looking for her son, but why now? Why now? Cut to Danny and Shan, Karma and Mirage. They run into Jamie Braddock, who is just the worst. He's just think about if Littlefinger from Game of Thrones had been given any kind of power. He would just be messing with you the entire time. So they go through this really... I like the way the art is. I like the art rather than than what's being said, because I think they can really have some real conversations. But it at the end of it, it cuts to them being captured by Merlin, which is really funny because these montage adventures are they just let's put them in a bunch of crazy scenarios. And so far we at the end of it, it ends with Danny and Shan being yeah, they're going to Merlin's super jail, and we see people riding velociraptors. It's getting good. I like how the new writer has three separate storylines going on, and all of them they don't need to connect, but I think they will. I can't wait to see where this goes. I gave this a 4 out of 5. It was cool. I really like the Alice in Wonderland references in here. So keep going. It's getting better. Also, the continuity, the crossing over. We're seeing Richter show up in New Mutants. We're seeing Prodigy and iBoy show up in this book too, and I want to see more of this. This would be really cool to see. I'm getting this book a 4 out of 5 stars. It's good, a lot of stuff going on, and I like it. We'll see you soon. I gotta get back. Don't want Merlin to find me. I swear, he's still one measly ruby, and all of a sudden, you're putting me number 1.